Hello guys, it is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some Complex Infinity Slayer. I've gone over my thoughts on Complex before. It's just like a map that has some incredible set pieces. Some of the map design looks incredible, and then some of the map goes completely unused. For instance, where the sniper spawns near the Mongoose area and near the Ghost area, where the sniper spawns near there, then the building to the right of that sniper spawn is just almost always goes completely unused. They really should have put a power weapon in there, like a shotgun or something, because quite frankly, I just don't see the need to go in there unless you're a camper who just wants to hold up. Like, the only time I ever see people using that room is when people have just started winning early on in the game, and they're scared that they might lose their winning, so they just go into that back building and kind of camp it out and hope that A, the enemy team don't find them very quickly, and B, that it's kind of a good defensive place to hold up. But apart from that, it's so outside of the it's on the suburbs of the map. This map has a real feeling of suburbs. You know, there's the whole middle town area, and then there's a sparsely populated suburbs area where hardly anyone ever goes, including myself. I mean, when I see that, I don't know, there's just no point. Like, the power weapons find their way to the middle anyway. You know, you've got the sword in middle area, you've got, I mean, the rockets instantly find their way to the middle area, but just because they start sniffing out trouble. And then top-middle control is so vital to this map that, you know, people are going to find their way there. Even if they have power weapons, even if they've collected the power weapons, it's not like they can really wait there. They have to make their way to top middle, and they have to take control of it, because otherwise, if you get something like a shotgun, and then try and rush top middle with it, yeah, you'll be able to kill one, but you won't be able to kill the whole team. And as a whole, I find that just every single team's goal on this map seems to be, let's see who can get top control, and who can keep it, and who can get power weapons there and start dominating. There always seems to be, especially when you're playing a good team, there's always at least one team member on top. And I don't really like that. I don't really like such an over-focus and such a huge power position on a map like this. I like there to be different power positions that work in their own way. Whereas this map doesn't really seem to have that. It has its, you know, defined power positions, and then everything else is kind of lower level and not as important. So it just revolves way too much around the concept of top middle. Some people will like, you know, players who are good at keeping a team advantage and good at strategy and stuff. You know, they will like it, because they will gain control of the map, and it's the better team wins most of the time when it comes to top-middle control. You know, whoever has the most aim, whoever has the best, you know, spawn knowledge of where people are going to spawn around them, will win. Anyway, I wasn't meant to talk about Complex. This is becoming a complex commentary, but at the end of the day, it's a long commentary, and I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out about Complex. Not that I think it's a terrible map, I just think it has issues. Definite issues, especially considering I like the majority of the Infinity Slayer maps, and this one just seems to come up and I'm like, it's alright, but nothing special. What I wanted to talk about, though, is BR versus DMR, and why I choose to use the DMR. I'll probably put as the title why I use DMR, or something like that, because I think it's kind of a contentious topic within the Halo community. I think I've seen a lot of people who have die-hard opinions over which one they're going to use. Like, you know, you meet a lot of people who are like, well, I used the Battle Rifle in the Halo 2, Halo 3, the DMR is overpowered in this game, and the aim assist is too high, and I think that the BR is the more skillful and just my preferential weapon. At first, I thought everyone was of the nature when they used the battle rifle that they weren't necessarily as good with the battle rifle as the DMR, but they just use the battle rifle because they think it's the more fair weapon. That's what I used to think everyone thought when they did use the battle rifle, but that's not actually the case. A lot of people just can do better with the battle rifle than the DMR, which I find so surprising, because quite frankly, when I use the battle rifle, I am 10 times worse with it than, not 10 times, that's a massive over-exaggeration, but I am definitely worse. I'm about 1.5 times worse with the battle rifle than the DMR. And the reason I use the DMR, and I think a lot of people have this notion that DMR combat can be pretty cheap, especially on big maps, like because the aim assist is so high that it kind of becomes a battle of who sees who first, because the chances of you missing DMR shots are fairly low, especially if you're a you are a player who's played for quite a long time, you've practiced your aim in Reach, chances are you're not going to have too much trouble aiming with the DMR on this game. So I think a lot of people use the BR in order to try and mix up the gameplay and make for a more entertaining combat experience. And I'm all for that, I suppose. 99% of the time I would say yes. But the way I see it, I don't think the DMR is cheap enough to the point that I think it's completely overpowered when in comparison to the BR. And unless I'm trying to be a hipster and try and be like to myself, oh, I'm going to use the BR because, that's what I used in Halo 2 and that's what I used in Halo 3. The bottom line is, if I'm better with one of the two weapons, I'm going to use it. And as long as it isn't cheap, and as long as I personally can make an argument for it not being a cheap, way too easy to use weapon. And although I do think it is easy to use, and though I do think it has a benefit in auto aim and has a very stable, its stability is far greater than the battle rifles, in my opinion. The battle rifle just seems to kick a little bit, especially in long-range encounters. The chances of you being able to handle the recoil on a map like, I don't know, let me think, Vortex long range is much, much, much harder than a map like, than with the DMR on Vortex. And quite frankly, until the 4-shot battle rifle comes out, I think I'd rather just enjoy the playing experience now until it comes out with the 4-shot, and then it will be a massive leap in excitement to me, because right now the DMR combat does get a little bit repetitive to me. There's no denying it, although I do think that the sound design and the weapon mechanics on the DMR are far more exciting than they were in Reach. I couldn't put up with the fact that there was bloom, the fact that the weapon just didn't seem to sound very nice, the weapon didn't look very nice. There was nothing about the weapon's aesthetics and combat use that I could get in touch with, whereas on this game I at least find some sense of enjoyment with it. I can use it for long stretches of time and not necessarily get hugely bored of it, at least like I did with Reach. But, obviously, I think the battle rifle is 10 times more enjoyable. But I don't even want to ruin my image of what the battle rifle used to be by using a 5-shot battle rifle with subpar recoil. I'd rather wait till the 4-shot comes out and I get all the excitement of using a proper battle rifle, the way it was intended to be used, rather than trying to be a hipster and saying, well, I use the battle rifle because it's harder. Not that everyone does that, but that is the only reason I would use it, because I'm not better with the battle rifle. I easily play better with the DMR, even close range combat. I just find it far, far simpler to maneuver and aim with the weapon. And that might sound a little bit cheap. That might be like I'm giving myself an advantage. But I don't think the crutch is big enough to the point it's offensive to other players. I don't feel like I'm completely ruining their experience. I still feel like they have a chance against me with the battle rifle. So I'm not gonna hinder myself to that extent, at least yet. As soon as the battle rifle comes out as a 4-shot, trust me, all these gameplays you will see as a 4-shot. As long as they optimize the 4-shot as good as it should be, and as long as the kill time is faster than the DMR, which I'm sure it will be, yeah, you're going to be seeing only battle rifle gameplays. But for now, I don't think the benefits of hindering myself outweigh the negatives of not hindering myself, if that makes sense. I might have said that wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. I don't see the benefits in hindering myself just yet. Anyway, I've been Modest Major. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Peace.